Hey there, welcome back to Reddit XO, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. Now, let's get into the video. My 24 female friend 24 female told me she cheated with a married man 37 male. In other words, I'd known Abigail 24 female since we were children. A huge group of people, including a married couple, James 37 male and his wife, had just returned from an international vacation with which she had just returned. Wyatt, 25-year-old male, her boyfriend, did not accompany her, and I did not accompany her. Today, when I was meeting up with Abigail and catching up on her travels, she revealed this shocking revelation to me. Abigail and James, it seems, were inebriated one night and became romantically involved. They didn't make any physical contact, but she did speak to him verbally about it. His wife was sick, so he had her in another room with him. This is all unknown to the wife and Wyatt, and neither couple is in an open relationship with the other. Abigail and James have made the decision to keep this knowledge confidential, although obviously she told me. They're still in touch, but it's just on a purely platonic basis. The fact that there is no emotional connection and that it was only a drunken vacation, in Abigail's perspective, is not a major problem, and she doesn't feel horrible about it, she says. I questioned her about why she didn't just tell Wyatt what had occurred if it wasn't such a big issue, and she said it wasn't. She said that this is due to the fact that he would be furious. All of this is making me feel a little uneasy. I've seen Abigail cheat on a few men in the past, but it was always at the end of those relationships, just as she was ready to walk away from her commitments to them. For clarification, I didn't learn about her adultery until after she'd already discarded those people, which was months or years after she'd gotten back together with me. She is extremely serious about Wyatt and has spoken with him about marriage and having children. They have been dating for approximately 2 years and have been living together since then. In addition, even if Wyatt isn't my cup of tea, I think he's a little obnoxious. He's been good to Abigail, has a steady, well-paying job, and is our same age as we are. What was her motivation for cheating on him with an older married man? Knowing nothing about James or his wife, I'm unsure whether to keep quiet or speak up to Wyatt about his behavior. Because I'm the only one Abigail has told, she will obviously know that he found out about it via me, and it will very certainly have a negative impact on our relationship. Besides, I don't much like for Wyatt. He's not nasty or aggressive. He's just an arrogant know-it-all, and I don't particularly want to be involved in any drama with him. In any case, if she's planning on marrying this guy, don't I owe it to her to tell him the whole truth? What should I do in this situation? Several people encouraged me to contact Wyatt after my last post, while a few others advised me to mind my own business and stay out of the situation. So I confronted Abigail one more time, telling her that she needed to accept responsibility and confess to Wyatt, or else I would alert him of her conduct. Wyatt, on the other hand, found out before we ever got together to have that conversation. At least one other woman grew enraged when James began cheating on his wife with her, and she emailed the wife photographic proof of his affair. James' wife became frightened and forced him to allow her to go through his phone. As a result, when the wife found out about Abigail, all hell broke out. Wyatt received a call from the wife. Apparently, Wyatt and James are family friends, something I was unaware of at the time. He got in his car and went over to James' house to confront him in person. A brawl ensued, and Wyatt wound up in the police station as a result. Abigail called me in tears, pleading with me to give her a ride to the police because Wyatt had driven their car to James' place of business. I had no clue what was going on at this point, so I consented and we went down to the location, where I discovered the full tale. I was so fed up with their foolishness that I just dropped Abigail down and left without saying a single word. Wyatt now has a court date scheduled for a few weeks from now. James and his wife are most likely going to obtain a divorce. I'm not sure whether Abigail and Wyatt will continue together, but I'm trying not to become too engaged in their relationship right now. I feel terrible for her, and we've been friends for over 15 years, but I also think she is to blame for what has happened. Story 2. Cheated on and undisgusted. I'm so exhausted as a result of this toxic connection with what I discovered to be a true narcissist. It's been over a month since I discovered my boyfriend, now ex, was cheating on me. We were almost living together. Where he remained, I had most of everything. It's like my second home. I was cleaning his room about 2 months ago while he was at work, thinking, It would be wonderful for him to come home to a clean room, clean linens, and clean things. When I went to get the trash can, there was a large box inside from a Valentine's Day present I'd given him, so I took it out to break it down for less bulk. When I opened the package, there was a pack of 3 condoms inside. My stomach fell and I became ill. At that moment, I felt justified in searching through the garbage and the bathroom trash, but I discovered no wrappers or anything else. I went to check our drawer where we store the lubricant and condoms, all the same kind, even the box in the garbage, and discovered that the original ones we'd purchased were still there, but they were mixed up with various dates. Yes, I checked. As I continued to look around the room, I saw that one of our photo frames had been twisted, which made me feel even worse. Right after that, I texted him and told him I wasn't looking through his trash, but that I found that pack, and he sounded alarmed that I was asking him, and he said I was being too abrasive, that he wouldn't do something like that, and that if I truly believed he hated me that much, he would do something about it. I trusted him and gave him the benefit of the doubt. I thought the greatest, yeah, we didn't use condoms all the time, but we did once in a while. Granted, I wasn't comfortable at that time, and there was always the "what if I'm right" voice in my brain. After 2 weeks on a day off when we were out, I went to grab some socks from the drawers and saw additional condoms, but they were separate from the condom drawer, and I questioned, "Why are these here?" He acted silly, and I didn't think anything of it. But by then I'd already kept track of all the original ones I discovered and went about my day as if it didn't concern me, because it didn't, and I was honestly waiting to confront him about it at a more opportune moment. I was certainly off the remainder of the day, because when he asked what was wrong as I continued to space out that day, my only response was nothing. The day seemed better and so good, and eventually I saw him where he was staying on a day he was off late, and I walked to the room, got myself comfortable, and noticed that our frame and photographs that were on top of my drawer were gone. When I looked into my drawers, there they were. I left them in there since I planned to inquire about them later. I checked the condo drawer, and there was certainly one missing. I was still giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he keeps it in his wallet for car, or who knows what at that time. He came home, sat on the bed with me, and I was groggy and uninterested in seeing him. He asked what I was looking at, and I told him that I was looking at the fact that our picture frame was gone, and he promptly got up and proceeded to take it out of the drawer with the pretext that he was cleaning that day, which I knew was nonsense. The next day, he completed the majority of his purchases, which was also a red signal at this point, and he even handed me his wallet, which didn't have a condom in it. Later that night, after unwinding from dinner, we got into another disagreement, which had been happening virtually every week for the last 2 months. The debates were on trivial matters, if not outright stupidities. Then we fell asleep, and that missing condom never left my mind. I recall him telling me the first time I contacted him about it, if I were doing anything like this, I'd put it in the garbage outside. He said it jokingly, but it stayed with me like glue. Could this person I fell in love with truly go to this extreme? I wondered. I brought the garbage from that night's takeout all the way outside to the trash outside as I questioned myself that and recalled his joke. I peered inside before tossing it in, and there it was, the condom wrapper. My stomach fell once again, and this time I couldn't keep silent. I returned inside. It was about 3 a.m., and I roused him up and begged him to explain. He had no words, no apologies, no, "Yeah, it was me. Just I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't count the condoms. The garbage is in an alleyway. Many people leave rubbish outdoors there," and I was so outraged and enraged that he couldn't face the reality. I wasn't even sobbing because I was so unhappy. There was no regret or understanding of reality. Even though the remainder of the talk was about taking a break, and that what I was saying were serious charges, he never once mentioned accepting responsibility. The following day, I went to get my stuff while he wasn't home, and then went back for my remaining items and plants when he was there, and he couldn't even look at me. He gave me his back and sulked in whatever he was feeling, lying in bed like the slond he is. I discovered that the female with whom he cheated on me was with whom we had a last summer. She texted me and apologized for everything. I never responded to her, and I know she's uncomfortable for a variety of reasons, simply being near me. My ex-boyfriend has yet to accept responsibility, and he is still in contact with me. I'm only remaining in touch for the time being because he has a few items he's attempting to get back to me, but he expects me to talk things out. I don't have anything more to say. I simply want my belongings back. Remember, we're all colleagues. Everything is just so messed up.